Guests in the seat of honor on the Believe Me Movement podcast will share with us their personal experiences with either seeing a UFO, being abducted, or any paranormal experience that they are trying to make sense of. As you listen, you are about to have a mind-expanding experience. Are you ready? We are not telling you what to think, but we do ask you to be open-minded. You must be pondering by now, what is the Believe Me Movement podcast? We offer you a relaxed and safe space for those of you courageous enough to share your profound and sometimes befuddling experiences as a live guest on our podcast. When you are ready to be a guest on our show and share your story, email me at spiritladyrobin@gmail.com. That's spiritladyrobin@gmail.com, and I'll gratefully put you on the wait list and contact you soon. Best-selling author Ken Sylvester of the book We're Not Alone and Here's the Proof, and me, Spirit Lady Robin Alexis, best-selling author of the book A Conversation with Extraterrestrials, are your hosts of the Believe Me Movement podcast and soon-to-be membership. The Believe Me Movement podcast is brought to you by RobinAlexis.com. That's RobinAlexis.com. Ken, are you ready to bring on our guest to sit in the seat of honor of the Believe Me Movement podcast?
Why, yes, Robin, I am. And I'm looking forward today to hearing from what our guest Jennifer has to tell us today. Jennifer, we are ready to listen to your story. Please tell us what happened.
When I was growing up, so in my childhood home, it has happened several times. I would be it was at night, so I would be asleep, and I would sort of be kind of woken up, and it was as if I was traveling very fast, and it was dark, and it was as if I was going somewhere, like I was not on the earth. That was just like the feeling that I had, that I was like, I guess in my childhood mind, like I was going into space. And what woke me up is that my body would feel a lot of pressure, and it was hard for me to like kind of maintain that pressure, so it would jolt me awake. It was kind of painful but somewhat intriguing, and sometimes I would like halfway wake up, and I would try to like withstand it because I was very curious where it was going, what it was. I knew it was something that like kind of seemed exciting or interesting, or I didn't know. And I was always disappointed that I either couldn't hold the feeling long enough, or that it stopped and then I would fully wake up. So I never got anywhere, and I never felt like I understood what was happening or where I was going or what the experience was. So I've always been very curious about that.
So when did this stop? Like how old do you think you were when it started, and how old do you think you were when you stopped remembering, at least, that you were doing that?
Well, I mean, it had to have been, I guess, I was trying to think about that. I mean, I did leave my childhood house when I was 17, so I was thinking it was between like 8 and then, in those years that I was, maybe, I don't know, early teens. I really don't remember.
Okay, well, I feel like it's somehow associated with where you used to live. Like there was some sort of a portal or opportunity there for you to time travel. When I look at it energetically, it's going to take a little bit of paranormal investigation here, Jennifer. So, if something I say doesn't resonate, please let me know. And if something I say does, okay, good. All right. So I feel like I'm going back to when you were about age 8. And the first, I actually can see her. I can see her, but I can also see her looking at, like all of a sudden she becomes aware that she's actually been doing that, maybe even every night. But now she's aware that she's doing it. And biologically speaking, that's about the age that the human brain starts to discern and recognize sort of its own individual consciousness. So it would make sense that you would start to, let's say, remember an experience like that. Now, did you speak to anybody else about this, or is this the first time you're talking about it?
It's the first time I'm talking about it, but I remember feeling kind of like a failure, like I wasn't like strong enough or evolved enough or like good enough to like have the experience like be actualized completely, and it sort of makes me feel sad.
Okay. So where in your body are you holding that feeling of sadness?
My heart.
Okay. So why don't you put your hands over your heart and yeah, that's good. And ask your heart, what is it that it would like to tell you about that experience that you've been having? If anything.
Alarm stop.
What did you say? So you're not getting...
I just feel like it was a confusing time, and it's okay.
Okay, so if we can neutralize the anxiety that you had by you putting your hands over your heart and kind of accepting the isness of what happened, then we're going to drop down a little bit more into the experience. So I'm going to explore things a little bit more emotionally with you. So in terms of reacting or responding to, starting at around age 8, having this conscious memory, there's 3 ways that we can respond: accept as is, speak up, or leave the situation. And it sounds to me like you don't want to leave the situation, you want to explore the situation. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And then you don't want to accept as is because you want some answers. So the third response is we're going to speak up and ask more questions about it. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
All right. So now that we know your inner 8-year-old never spoke to anybody about it, and she knows that you're coming back in time by putting your hands over your heart and you're letting her know it's okay, that there's nothing wrong with her, that you're there and you're the adult now, and see if she'll answer some questions. So I literally want you to voice dialogue some more with your inner 8-year-old, okay? Okay, so first of all, ask her if when she was in that, I'm going to call it a time tunnel, is that something that she was going to look for something or somebody?
Maybe.
Okay, so she doesn't really know. She just knows she was having the experience, but she can't figure it out. Okay, so ask her if it's okay if I go in and start looking with her to see what's going on. I feel like she's already saying yes. Yes. And I do, okay, yeah. I'm seeing 3 beings who are with her, and they do look like perhaps the Zeta Reticuli. I think that's how you say who those beings are. And they do feel corded to you, like somehow they maybe guided you or they took you. Yeah, now I'm actually seeing a spaceship. So I feel like you would wake up in between, like transport, if you will, between your physical body and then being up on the ship. So I think what we need to do is, first of all, find out if that resonates to you, I want to bring you into your preconception karmic boardroom and find out, did you have an agreement with these extraterrestrials to participate in something, or did they do something against your will? So how do you want to approach this, Jennifer?
Well, I always like felt really different growing up, and I always felt like I wasn't from here, and that I don't fit in and I don't belong here. Like I'm not from here.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that very strongly with you. Ken, are you feeling that with her also?
I'm getting the same vibe.
Okay. So, Jennifer, I still think we need to figure out what's going on with these 3 ETs. So if it's all right with you, let's go into your preconception karmic boardroom and find out if they're actually helping you or hindering you from remembering who you are. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's have your higher self walk your 8-year-old self into your preconception karmic boardroom. I can see you're already in there with the overlighting diva of your preconception karmic boardroom. And I'm asking Archangel Michael to bring those 3 Zetas into the room, and they're sitting across the table from you. And I see you picking up, actually you seem like you have a lot of contracts with either these ETs or other ETs. But as you're in that room and you're reviewing soul contracts, I want you to look at those 3 ETs that are sitting across the table from you, Jennifer, and you tell me, do you feel that you had a soul contract with them in particular before coming into human form in this lifetime?
My sense is that I was with them before I came here.
That's my sense as well. So you have a sense you were with them before you came here, but still, did you have an agreement to still do whatever it is you've been doing all this time with them? Is that an agreement that you made with them?
I don't know, because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with them.
Okay. Then my suggestion is that you ask them to give you some information. Like, obviously, it seems as if you came from where they came from. So you're technically, it feels like a hybrid of whatever that species is in your human self. Does that resonate to you?
What is a Zeta Reticuli?
It's just a particular group of extraterrestrials. There's a lot of different groups. In this particular group, these 3 seem very, almost longing with you, like they want to reconnect with you. They don't want to interfere with your soul purpose or soul mission. They'd like to enhance it, but it just seems like there's not enough. It's like they wanted you to remember that you came here for something, and they know you're not remembering. Does
I
that
would love to
feel...
know. Yes.
Okay.
I do feel lost. I would love to know. I will accept their help.
Okay. So, yeah, they're very happy about this, and I'm hoping you're feeling a little lighter. And your 8-year-old self is actually starting to get an inner child soul retrieval, and actually the inner younger ages with you from approximately 8 to 17. Those are also merging back into your heart. And so all of those parts that were just sort of out there are now assimilating into your body, into yourself, as you're sitting across the table from these 3 Zetas. And I see you looking more meticulously now at your contract with them. And when I look at you, you look more Zeta than you do human. And they're saying that you agreed to come into human form as a Zeta to experience humanity, to experience what it's like to be a human, and to give them back information about what that's like. And you have enough of, let's say, their DNA or their essence to be able to communicate with them. So when you were traveling back and forth, you were giving them information about what it was like to be human. So you were sort of like a scientist, or I don't know, maybe that's the wrong term, but you were giving them information, and they're saying they have found the information very useful, and they, now that you know that you have been doing this, they want you to not let your Zeta self be so ascendant that it confuses you about just your human experience. They're saying it was extremely difficult for you, that you are sort of experimental. You came in with a soul group of other Zetas who were given permission to come into human form, and that it was all part of this research to navigate how to communicate well between the species, and that it's been very, very challenging for you because A, you didn't know that was going on, you didn't remember it, and B, sometimes your energy would become more, as they say again, ascendant of a Zeta than ascendant of your human self. And so it's been extremely confusing for you, and they're just asking if, now that you have this information, can you begin to relax and understand more about what's going on? And if that's the case, they can then give you more energy, essence, and tools to actually create the life you intended to create as a human that's having this experience. Does that make sense to you, and do you agree with it? Do you want to, negotiate it?
Yeah, and my question is, what are they doing with the information that I gave them, and what is my sole purpose to be here, like as a human?
Okay, first of all, they're starting with your sole purpose as a human is to integrate intergalactic species, intellect, communication, and DNA. Secondly, you're supposed to be able to manifest things more efficiently because you do have access to energy technology that other humans wouldn't have, meaning that whatever the Zetas have as wisdom or energy, quantum physics, that you would be able to acclimate and bring that in and assimilate it, kind of plug it in to your human self, and then be able to manifest things in a more kind of provocative, quicker way. And they're saying to you, you've done that before. Like, have you ever had an experience that something kind of jolting or quick really happened? Maybe even around water, they're saying?
No, I feel like I have failed in this mission completely.
Okay.
I do not feel like I manifest quickly at all.
Okay. So let's, what I'm going to do is go to your preconception soul records and see if we can kind of reset what they're telling you about so that it can come in more smoothly. Is that okay with you, Jennifer?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to bring in what's called adamantine particles. And adamantine particles create an energy bridge, or like a webbing or a fabric, that the vibration of love can travel on. And it will create all kinds of kind of underpinnings or structures that will hold energy, frequencies, information for you. And yeah, I can see, there it goes right there. It's starting to move through your field. What are you feeling now?
Just some energy moving in my body, like
Perfect.
in my arms.
Exactly. Okay, so it's coming in through the heart chakra, and you're feeling it down your arms because it's moving through the heart meridian. So what's happening is your axonal meridians are coming online, and they weren't online before, so I can see exactly what you're talking about. Axonal meridians are the part of our meridian system that actually connects in with other planets and information and energy from those different planets, and then we can bring them through, like into our chakra systems and into our meridians and our bodies that humans have known about for thousands of years. And so what I'm seeing harmonizing here is not only your heart is receiving like these stem cells and then activations of these stem cells that allow you to feel more of your hybrid energy, but it's activating and opening these axonal meridians, which then can communicate to your meridians with your chakras that communicate through to your organs. There you go. That feels much better. Okay, what are you feeling now, Jennifer?
I just feel energy in my body, like in my organs.
That's exactly it. This, to me, is the vibration of what is called ascension, that you literally feel like your soul essence, and in this case, we know your soul has energy as a zeta and energy as a human. You've come into human form to exchange information in a benevolent way, and your gift back for that is to have this energy and information, bring it into your own body, and then it sort of lifts your organs. And when your organs are lifted like that, it's like a more pure state of presence and being in your own body. Oh, that's beautiful. Now I'm watching your upper dimensional grids, meaning the energy up over your head, your upper chakras. There's a lot of expansion coming in. It's like a vortex opening up there. And then I'm seeing a whole group of beings that are standing up there that I've never seen before, because I've never actually worked with a hybrid of a zeta. So this is very exhilarating for me, as a paranormal investigator, to see this for you. Okay, now it's starting to come down through your shoulders, and it seems to be softening your clavicles. Now, have you ever had problems with either one of your shoulders?
No.
Good. Okay, now I'm coming down and right in your armpit area. Your lymph nodes seem to be a little tight, and so we want the lymphatics to relax. And then it's moving back into the heart again. And I'm seeing your parasympathetic nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system is starting to reset and reorganize itself. And that'll bring more homeostasis in. It'll regulate your nervous system. And now I'm down at your feet. I'm working with your toes, especially your big toe, and releasing. There you go. That's good. Okay, now I'm going under your feet, going towards your earth star chakra. That's about 16 to 18 inches below your feet. And that is just being flooded with all sorts of new energy and information. And the three beings who were in the preconception karmic boardroom talking to you, they have left. And now they are overlighting divas of that earth star chakra. So they're going to stay with you and help give you information so that you can manifest with more dignity that which you're here to create. And I'm seeing the overlighting diva of your preconception karmic boardroom is beginning to escort you also out of, with your higher self, out of that room you were in. And that's coming back through your soul body and back through your physical body. So there's a lot of integration. It's almost like remixing music, right? I mean, you didn't have a lot of your parts. And so it's kind of like cooking, what do they say? Cooking on three burners, or I don't remember that expression. But anyway, you didn't have quite all the energy systems that you needed to do what you came to do, which is why you have felt sometimes like you were a failure. But I'm watching the energy integrate. Now I see the soul of Mother Earth coming up to not only greet you, she's greeting these three zetas. And so there's a lot of sense of reunion here. Evidently, this was also an agreement with the soul of Mother Earth. And then I see you settling more into your body. You might want to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe move your neck around a little bit. Maybe feel your spinal cord open up. I feel like your spine, your back area has been really tight. And now this new energy can start flowing through, feeling the cerebral spinal fluid. There you go, right there. How are you feeling now, Jennifer?
I feel a lot of energy in my body.
Good. Do you feel safe?
I feel safe. I'm
Good.
wondering if my daughters are aliens also.
I do hear yes, that they are similar hybrids to yourself, and that as you assimilate this, that you'll be able to kind of reconceive them, regestate them, rebirth them, and like give them the chance to also kind of re-articulate their platform of their energy system. And I'm starting to see you already do that. Now I'm being guided to start moving out of your field. And when I am out of your field, because I don't want to leave any of my energy in you or have you in me, and once that's set up, that we're both nice and sovereign, because it's pretty deep and complex, and I want to, yeah, there we go. So I'm almost detached, but hang on a little longer here. I might do a little toning to keep moving my, there we go, I'm out. Okay. So Ken, what do you have to say about this?
I thought you said Jen.
That's okay. Robin, is there anything that you can do as your healing process to get release of some of the information that's trapped inside her brain from these experiences?
Well, I feel like they're hers. Like that's kind of not, that's not for us to know. That's for her to know.
Okay.
So I could, for me to go in there would be breaking universal law. I'm sure I could do it, but I wouldn't do that.
Okay. I didn't understand the boundaries there.
Well, that makes sense because in the last show it was a surrogate healing. So what happened was open for everybody. In this case, I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing this is for her and her children and whatever she discerns to kind of fiddle around with and experiment with. And then after that, maybe we'll be able to get some more information. Maybe she'll come back on the show and tell us what she learned or ask some more questions, and we'll dive deep together.
And I had just one other question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I had just one other question on that is I wondered what the age of her kids are now and if she's noticed any behavior that would indicate that they might be having some type of experience.
My daughters are 13 and 15, and my younger daughter has always had sleep issues. So I'm not sure if she's had the similar experience that has awoken her, or just their part of their DNA is something else.
Okay.
Well, Jennifer, Jennifer, now that you're becoming more aware of yourself, and clearly this is resonating to you, you're feeling it in your body, there'll be some organic shifts with your children and maybe organic new conversations coming up. Or, maybe you'll come on the show again with them or without them, and we can kind of help you as a mom who's a hybrid, who has hybrid children. We can talk more about that, and maybe at that point it would be more of a surrogate healing, kind of along the lines of what Ken was just bringing forth. But for now, let's respect that you've had a profound awakening and awareness of who you are and what you're here to do. It's very, very sacred, and we appreciate that you were willing to come on the show. Now, Jennifer, you do have a YouTube channel. Excuse me, not YouTube, it's Instagram, called, I think you said, the 75% Vegan. Is that accurate?
Yes, I talk about just vegan foods or vegan restaurants, and sometimes I bring in just some spiritual thoughts about life.
Do you think you were attracted to that sort of diet because you're a hybrid?
When I was in high school, it just became clear to me that animals are sentient beings and that I can't harm them because I don't feel superior to them. I feel like we're all equal, and I see them as very benevolent beings, animals.
That is really beautiful. And there's something else I was going to ask you, but my brain just left. So I guess it's because I'm feeling really overwhelmed with the magnitude of the shifts that I'm watching you experience. And I just want to take a moment and thank the guides and guardian angels and the masters and ascended masters and the different councils of light beings who are here. Oh, okay, so here's what they also want me to ask you, Jennifer. Have you felt guided to do fasting?
Yes.
Now what?
Yes. Maybe a year ago, I started doing a 24-hour fast once a week because I felt like maybe my body holds a lot of stress, and I was trying to just help my longevity, thinking that doing the fasting would stimulate the body to have longevity.
Well, I find that very interesting, not only that we know that you're human, but you also have zeta frequencies. If you do come back on the show, I would like for you to talk about, as you have chosen to fast once a week and you do follow this vegan diet, just kind of notice whether, now that you have the information that you got on this podcast, has it helped you wake up to be able to hear information that you've been longing to hear about your path? And has it helped you to manifest the type of human experience that you actually have been longing for? So I do want to thank you very much for coming on the show, Jennifer. It takes a lot of courage to come out and talk about these things. And again, this is Jennifer. She can be found on Instagram at the 75% Vegan. Thank you for listening to the Believe Me Movement podcast. You are invited to like and subscribe to the Believe Me Movement YouTube channel. That way you'll be notified every time something new is posted, and you won't want to miss anything. So go ahead and like and subscribe to the Believe Me Movement YouTube channel and stay informed. Before we move along, I'm going to ask Ken first. Is there any parting thing you'd like to say?
No, Robin, you covered everything well today.
Okay, and how about you, Jennifer? Any parting thing about your experience on the show or anything you'd like to share?
I guess just, what am I supposed to do with this information now? Just talk to them, or just feel the energy in my body, or try to do something new?
I would say make it a regular practice, at least once a day, to put your hands over your heart and tell the three beings who are the Zetas that are working with your Earth Star chakra. That's the chakra about 16 to 18 inches below your feet. Find out what they will tell you, and maybe keep a journal and see, what kind of guidance they give you. And of course, you can speak back and forth to them. I anticipate that through your heart, especially by putting your hand over your heart, you're signaling telepathy, that you want to speak to them and you want them to answer back. And let's see if you can establish that. And if you can't, on your own, we'll help you out. We'll have you back on the show. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And again, the Believe Me podcast has been brought to you by RobinAlexis.com. Over and out.